Welcome to Jimmy G's Anomaly, the podcast. Today's special guest is Pat Smillie. Pat Smillie is a Detroit-based soul blues singer who performs with his own band, as well as legendary Detroit guitarist Jim McCarty and Motown session luminary Dennis Coffey. Pat's band has opened major shows for Bob Seger, the Robert Cray Band, and others. His new EP, Lonesome for a Long Time, is Smillie's first release in 10 years. It features arrangements from a member of Bob Seger's touring band. Stick around and find out who that is. This interview will be very interesting and fun as we continue to shine light on popular Detroit artists and the Detroit sound. Now your host, Jim Lazat.
We are back in black as usual. I'm Jimmy G, and this is the Jimmy G podcast. And today, I am stoked. We got this guy in the studio singing. Listen to this.
We double track that lead vocal.
Yeah, so
Trick of playing heavy music.
So, Mr. Pat Smillie is in the studio. You know, it's just something I'm having a really hard time turning down because, Jim McCarty, man, he's kind of like, I'm just going to keep it playing in the background just out of respect, man, because Jim McCarty, man, is like rock royalty.
Jim brought the thunder on this track. He always does.
Yeah, listen to this. This is some next level playing. I don't know what is. You know what I really love about this is when the Jim McCarty locks in with the bass player.
Oh yeah. Record a heavy rhythm track. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is dialed in the tone that I personally love.
Yeah.
Listen, I like your what you're doing in the background here on vocals. It's absolutely great. Is Josh playing bass?
No, that's Rocco Popielarski on bass. Josh recorded the sessions and served as a producer and engineer, but he didn't play on this particular track. He played some slide guitar on a couple of other songs.
He's so good. It's so good. You guys are freaking great. I want to thank you for being here, man. I'm really stoked, man. I'm really stoked. So you're originally from Detroit, Michigan. You earned a reputation as a powerhouse. He earned a reputation as a powerhouse vocalist on the Chicago blues scene. We're just going to keep playing his music here. I got his playlist, and we're going to talk over it because it needs to be heard. And I don't want to talk over your vocals, though, because it's rude, so I'll turn it down. But, you basically cut your chops in Chicago, right?
That's when I turned pro, really. I joined my first band here when I was still in high school at Detroit Catholic Central, and I'm in junior year of high school. I was walking down the hallway just between classes singing the chorus of Devil with the Blue Dress just at the top of my lungs because I love that old song. I love Mitch.
And Johnny Badancek plays drums on that, doesn't he? Yeah. He is so good.
He is. And one of my classmates tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, "Hey man, you feel like being in our band?" And I said, "Yeah, that would be fun." So that's how we started. I was about 17 years old and I've been singing with neighbors and my cousin. I'm making music with some of the neighborhood derelicts, who had guitars and stuff. And
I like how you said the neighborhood derelicts.
They were out there. I was one of them.
You're far from a derelict, man. But you went out to Chicago. What year?
1992. I moved out there because I was gonna go. I got accepted to Loyola University, and I was gonna pursue a doctorate degree in applied social psychology.
Wow.
I had big plans.
No kidding.
But when I got out there, man, I got way into music. And after about 3 years in school, I'd got my master's degree, but I decided that, my advisor told me, "Pat, you can either do psychology or music, but you probably can't do both at the same time, excel at both in the same way." And I took his advice to heart, and I left school.
You know what?
Started trying to rock.
It may not have been a bad decision because I think you're great, man. I really love your stuff, man. Really, great honor to have you here in the studio. So, Lonesome for a Long Time is your first release in 10 years?
Well, it's the first. Yeah, it was in over 10 years. Now that record is actually I put that one out in 2019. So at that point, it'd been close to 12 years since I recorded. Wow. So that was the first project I got together with Josh Ford on.
Yeah.
And
I want to have him on too.
He's great.
He's got the big three, right?
Yep. We're actually going to be playing with those guys. This Sunday.
Oh, where?
Josh is having a big party at the Sound Shop Studio in Macomb.
Oh, that's his studio.
Lot. Yep, from 1 to 8 o'clock. Live bands all
How do I get on the invite list?
You're on the list, Jim. You're on the list, baby.
And when I'm there, I'm going to ask him to be on the show because I really like him a lot. I went to see Chit, the band Chit.
Yeah.
And he was running sound, and man, he set the sound up like a pro.
Like
and
a pro that he is.
It's the pro that he is, yeah. And he's also got great chops on guitar and on bass, and he probably plays drums. I don't know. But
as a producer and engineer, he's great. Like we were talking about production, there's always some kind of... there always can be an issue that pops up whenever you're trying to put on a show or do an album. And he's the kind of guy who's been at it long enough so when an issue arises... he can immediately focus in on, like you said, troubleshoot.
Yeah.
And focus in on the problem and then take steps to correct the situation.
Right.
Without wasting, 45 minutes or an hour or whatever. Some engineers or, some live audio settings, some guys got some feedback coming through the monitor they can't quite get the handle on. Josh can nail it and wipe it out right away. So everything he touches is, he's the best because he cares about music and he cares about all the musicians around him sounding good. It's not only about him. He feels that part of his calling is to help other artists put their best foot forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's great at that. He nurtures that and really is supportive in that way.
Yeah. Was jamming with our friends last night, getting ready to release some of my music. It wasn't about my music. We just got together and jammed, and we all played like I don't know, 12 songs we never played before, and it was sounding killer. And I'm like, we got to bring those guys in. But we're all audio engineers. The reason why I brought it up.
Right.
That's how we met. We were all designing radios for Ford. And so when there's a problem, it's quickly resolved.
Right,
quickly
perfect.
resolved. So let's talk about the important stuff. Lonesome for a long time. I'm telling you, I've been listening to it, and it is really good. It is filled to the brim with full production. 4 of which feature Keith Kaminsky, who played with Bob Seger and also the High Flying Birds. That's the gentleman from Oasis, right?
Yes. Noel Gallagher.
Yeah, Noel.
They went out with him while on a break from the Seger tour, is my understanding.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah.
Well, when he was when they were here over, they were staying over in Rochester at that nice hotel. I'm not going to say the name of it, but you know where they all stay, right? And I was texting him. I'm like, oh, you got to tell Noel to get his brother back on the gig. And he's, it ain't going to happen. We're texting on Messenger back and forth. I don't know him,
right.
But I want to know him. And I want to have him on, too, because he's like a next-level player himself.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
all the guys in your band, I consider next-level players, So on this, like you said, it was produced by Josh Ford, who plays bass on the recordings. You are doing all the vocals, and all the songs are your creations?
Yeah, on Lonesome for a Long Time, we had 6 tracks, and all 6 are originals, and 5 of them I wrote with Josh. The other one, the other song I brought with me from Chicago, I actually re-recorded a ballad on that record called I Got an Angel that I had originally put out in 1999 in Chicago. So
let's put that on right now, man. That's a great song.
Josh likes that one. That one actually features Jimmy Bones from the Kid Rock's group.
Oh, he's a phenomenal keyboardist.
Yeah,
I want to have love to have him and Tino Gross in here.
Oh, I'm sure you can get them both in here probably.
Well, a lot of just superb talent in this town.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Past the age of 3, my first ex-wife took her away from me. My mother and I never did see eye to eye.
That's Johnny Rhoades on guitar there.
It's beautiful.
Don't know what you got till you lose it all.
I don't want to talk over your
Stay
vocals.
high all the time until you hit a wall. On the day she died and passed to the other side.
You can hear Jimmy Bones in there a little bit right there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, thank you.
I got an angel.
Beautiful song. I think we all have angels. Yeah. Well, so I'm going to turn this down so we can talk a little bit about the song. How did you come up with this song?
Okay, that's interesting. I was actually, as I recall, I wrote the song while I was living in Chicago. I was watching the local evening news one day, and I heard this sad story about a guy who his daughter had passed away, young girl, toddler age, and he was just so distraught he ended up taking his own life. And I don't know, I heard the story and it just sort of it just made me feel a certain way. And I started thinking about times that I'd lost loved ones or whatever, and I kind of used parts of his story and grafted in parts of my own story to come up with this. So a lot of people assume it's sort of autobiographical, and honestly it's not my story. It's a guy I never met who I saw his story on the news. But I've been proud of that song, and it did real well for us in Chicago. Everyone loved that one, so that's why when I was looking for songs to start my recording career back up again with Josh, I'm like, that one feels like I should include it on this new project and let people hear it again. So that's why.
Well, you should be proud of it. It's outstanding.
Well, thanks, Jim.
Yeah, all the songs on your record, and that's why I'm doing this podcast for those of you who maybe just have never seen it and are just tuning in for the first time. I'm trying to shine a bright light on all the great talent that's in the Metro Detroit area in Detroit is we all want to be Detroit, right? Everybody wants to be Detroit now. We got the Detroit Lions, the Tigers, the Red Wings, and the Pistons are all coming on. And it's a great town, and we got so much talent. I'm just really stoked to have Pat in here. Listen to more of this song.
Don't suit me. I just can't wait to hold her again.
Yeah, Jimmy Bones played. This was the only track he played on, and he came in. I'd met him once or twice previously, and he came in and played on the track and did a beautiful job. And he relayed to me that he really liked the song. He told me several times, so I felt like, I like that the guys who are working on the material believe in it too. That makes a difference.
It does. And how blessed are you to have all these next level players playing on your stuff?
I'm blessed, and I gotta say that a lot of that is in part due to Josh, because these are guys that he's established relationships with over the years. He's known some of these guys. Him and Keith have been working together since, I think he said 1997, so. And
Keith, man, we're going to play a video with Keith on it. Not just him, but all the horn players you got on stage are just nailing it constantly. They probably do hit a bad note, but you don't even notice it because it's so good.
He always puts the guys together. Keith picks his guys, whether he needs 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 other guys. He puts them together, whatever the gig calls for. And they're always top pros, And he created the charts, so he just brings the music with him, passes that out to the guys, and they have a whack at it. They're fantastic. They're total pros. I think he also got to play with maybe it was his partner John Rutherford is one of his other. But those
Amazing
guys got to play with the Who when the Who came through town.
Isn't that cool? They were part of the local band.
Yeah. So those are the kind of jobs that he's getting. He's Keith is on a whole other level. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's like next level stuff.
And such a sweet man, and very down to earth, and with a lot of great stories from over the years. A lot
I can only imagine.
Stories.
I can only imagine.
He would be fun to get in here, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to have him in. I don't know him personally, but I really would love to have him in because I really respect his work, and I just every time I see him play or John Rutherford, they're kind of like
the Motor City Horns. They call the group, and they were together with Bob Seger. I don't know what they come together and they're all different
like
combinations.
Most musicians, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say that there's one thing people sometimes have. I think people these days have a. Yes, we all play together and we all play with different people. Yeah. But sometimes it's not like this thing where one musician is married to one band for the rest of their lives. Anymore to make a living, it seems you got to hustle. And Josh, he's gonna play bass in my band. He's gonna play guitar in front of his own band. He's gonna conduct a studio.
The Motor City 3 is some pretty serious stuff too.
Oh yeah, those guys
the big
really, 3. Oh yeah,
the big 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, you got that wrong, Josh. What did I say?
You said the Motor City 3. It's Motor City Josh and the Big 3.
Yeah. Motor City Josh. Sorry, Josh.
So I met Keith through Josh.
Yeah.
And actually, we have a gig, all of us together, this big conglomeration coming up on Labor Day at the Caju Cafe.
Oh.
It's going to be myself on vocals. There's Dave Edwards from The Look.
Yeah, he's another guy I got to have on.
Yep.
Yeah,
another guy named Greg Nagy, another great vocalist and songwriter.
Yeah,
and then Motor City Josh.
Nice. That's a strong lineup, man.
We're going to have the Josh and the band and the horn section are going to back up all 4 of the vocalists.
I'm going to have to be there.
Yeah,
that's on Labor Day.
Yep, at the Caju they're going to have a
Monday.
Big. Yeah, they're going to have a big blowout all day long. And
wow, do you need a special invite or is anybody welcome?
Well, I don't know. I think that's a ticketed event because it's a multiple act thing.
Yeah.
So, anyone who buys a ticket can be there. I'm not sure how
I'll have to get my ticket. So will you. How do you get the ticket?
Probably check the Caju website,
Caju Cafe. Both those guys own that place?
John Rutherford is part owner. No, Keith is not involved in that. I don't really know the whole.
What a great place he has.
It is great, and since the pandemic, he and his partners have sunk a lot of money into renovations, and they put in a new PA system and stage, and they got a Hammond B3 organ there that stays.
Oh, nice.
So it's a great club, great live music venue.
So, I was reading that you are considered to be a northern version of Delbert McClinton, who effortlessly handles blues, rock, and soul styles in the vein of Joe Cocker, Mitch Ryder, classic soul singers like Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett, right?
Okay, well, Bob Montaloni said that and wrote that, and I love Bob. Thank you for that. Delbert McClinton, of course, is a great artist, and I love him and all the artists you mentioned. I think if I have any similarity to these guys, it's just that I have a eclectic taste in music, and I like to record. I like to do songs across different styles. Sometimes it's not like. Not every song sounds the same, but because all the songs are recorded by the same core group of musicians, there is a consistency there.
Sure is.
That's
man.
what I like about the records.
Absolutely. So another name comes up in your history, a gentleman named Vance Kelly, who nurtured you into this budding singer that you've developed into.
Yes.
And tell us about Vance and who he is and the role he played and how he got you this residency in Chicago.
Okay, so this is an important part of my story, because if Vance hadn't been, hadn't been so generous and just sort of. What's the word? He offered me a lot of encouragement at a time. I was just coming around. Okay, so I moved to Chicago to go to school. Eventually,
and you did get your master's.
I did,
which is very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. But I realized school wasn't so much for me, and I liked playing. And Vance was one of the guys at that time, maybe 90. The back end of 93 and 1994. I'd been in Chicago a couple years not making music, just focusing on school. But Vance had a regular Thursday night gig at this place called the Checkerboard Lounge, which is on the south side of Chicago. And it was like considered a blues mecca. It was opened and owned at one point by Buddy Guy.
Wow.
And there's just a lot of lore and history there, and a lot of history there. And anyways, Vance played there every Thursday.
He's coming this weekend.
Buddy?
I think, yeah.
Okay. I didn't.
To Meadowbrook, I think.
Oh, I think I did see that, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go, man.
So, but Vance was a regular musician there, and he had a strong following of both neighborhood folks and University of Chicago students who would come out every Thursday night and watch him. And I started to be one of those people who would come up to the gig every Thursday night and have a blast and watch him and the band. They were incredibly tight and well rehearsed. I mean, it wasn't that they rehearsed, it was that they played gigs 5 to 6 nights a week. So they didn't have a day off. When they had their day off, it was a day off. But they rehearsed on stage, playing 5 nights a week.
Kind of like Nashville is, right?
Yep, that's exactly how it was.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you learn which parts of your songs work well with the audience. You learn what tunes work well, what little gimmicks, what little tricks you might, can you play your guitar behind your back, or do you walk out with your cordless? I mean, so Vance was all about that. And I was a young artist. I'd been going to jam sessions, and I was getting very frustrated because I show up at these blues jam sessions. I'm a singer who doesn't play an instrument. So I'm like, I have to play what 5 total strangers can come up with on the spot, which is, 9 out of 10 times Stormy Monday or some slow blues like that.
Your instrument is your voice, and it's a damn good instrument, man.
Well, thanks,
You
man.
sing really, really good. We got a video here of you playing with these cats.
Okay.
And you pick which one you want to play. We could do
the Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Yeah, I think
that's a great song by Stevie Wonder.
I think we got a horn solo in there too.
Yeah, this is at the Caju Cafe.
Caju
Let's
Cafe.
check it out
outside.
Man.
Yep.
We're gonna leave you with an old Stevie Wonder song, and then the great David Edwards is coming up. How about for Dave Edwards Band?
We got to get that cat on here too.
Yeah, this is a similar thing. Josh has produced all of us, so
Yeah.
we've been doing some package shows and hoping
Nice.
it's going to catch on, you know?
Absolutely. That's some next level playing right here, man. It's fantastic. Introduce the band.
Oh, man. Well, I can't see all the horn players, but Keith is obviously on the tenor saxophone. See Josh in the corner.
Those back vocalists are
Ashley Stevenson in the white and Tina Howell in the black with the big hair. And Tina's been with me since 1999.
Tina Howell.
Ashley's been with me since probably about
Stevenson.
2005 or so. We toured Europe together.
Motor City Josh
you're
on
interviewing
bass.
him. Or you're in it.
Todd Glass on drums.
There I go.
Introducing him. I'm not.
Johnny Rhoades on guitar. Keith on saxophone. Charlie on trumpet. Chris on trombone. Yours truly, Pat Smillie. Good night, everybody. We hope we get to do this again sometime.
So like Charlie and Chris, I never met before. They just showed up on my gig and killed it. You know, they came with Keith. That's his job.
You know, if that was a next level, you need to send me an email and tell me what is. Those guys are absolutely amazing. So here's an interesting story that I heard, and Pat can tell us if this is true. You know the band Led Zeppelin, right? I mean, one of my favorite bands. Robert Plant attended one of Pat's shows and recommended Pat to a promoter named Amy Grant of Jam Productions. And we're going to turn it over to Pat right now and tell us if that's true and what happened.
Okay, that's almost true. It is true.
Okay.
Robert Plant did come to one of our shows at the Checkerboard Lounge. After I'd played with Vance for a couple years, eventually the owner of the club said, you know, you want your own night? And I said, you know, I want my own night. The Checkerboard was like, I felt if I could make it there, I could make it anywhere. You know, I mean, that's really how I felt. And so I had my little Wednesday night gig going on. And one night we were playing, and it was a slow night. And I remember we were on our break after our first set, and I was just kind of sitting at the end of the bar by the door. And the owner says, comes over to me and says, Smillie, take a longer break. We got a group coming down that they want to hear the band. And I said, well, what? He said, some rock and roll band. I don't know. Just take a break. And when they come here, get up there and play. I said, all right. So I was waiting around about 10 or 12 minutes. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting at the door within earshot of the doorman. And this fellow comes in and he says, my name is Arnie Granite from I'm the president of Jam Productions, co-founder. And I'm here with Robert Plant. And I almost spit out my drink. I was like, what? Robert Plant is coming to my gig? And he walked through the doorway. I mean, there was probably only 12 people there all night, you know. So Robert came in with about 25 people, his band and members of his crew. And they proceeded to set up camp in the back of the Checkerboard and partied the rest of the night with us.
That is
It was so fun. And afterwards, I had an opportunity to talk with him. He came out on the dance floor and did a little dance with his friends, and they were just having. It was the last show of their tour, so they were kind of just unwinding. And for
what
some
year
reason,
was that?
This would have been about 2000 or 2001.
Oh, nice. Was that when he was touring with Jimmy?
No, this was after he played the record that he came out right after he met us was an album called Dreamland.
Oh yeah,
and he put that one out. It was a bunch of covers and stuff.
Yeah,
but he and I talked for about 45 minutes after the show, and I mean, I was like, at one point he said, "It's cool, man," because I was like, I can't believe it. I was like so just geeked, and I just got to perform for him, and he seemed to enjoy it, and we spoke, and he said, you know, I'm going to refer you to. I said, we're out here, feel like kind of banging our heads against the wall playing this little club, and he says, I know how you mean it. I was just the same. He was so
down to earth,
and a music fan. I mean, first and foremost, there were no airs or no pretension. He was just like, hey, I like music, you like music, we're both singers. And I'm like, okay.
I would have been through the moon.
I was. And I gotta anyways. So he said that he said, I'll put in a word for you with Arnie. And
how nice.
True to his word. And it was like a chance meeting. I'll tell you this, that gig almost didn't happen. I had a drummer at the time who had some substance issues, and he relapsed the night before, and his girlfriend called me to say, Pat, I don't think Sam is coming to the show tonight because he didn't come home last night. You better find another drummer. And I was like, oh, thanks, Sandy. Thanks for letting me know. So I called, and if she hadn't called me, if his wife hadn't called me to let me know what had happened the night before, I would have been sitting there at the club waiting for a drummer to show up who was never coming, and the gig wouldn't have canceled, and Robert Plant would have never come. And I mean, so I owe a large part of my career to that evening, and particularly to my drummer's girlfriend who called me to give me a heads up so I could find another drummer for the gig. And when he showed up, and that evening led to opportunities. I got asked if I could once they asked me to open for Boz Scaggs, and I'm a huge Boz Scaggs fan, but they said...
The Lido Shuffle,
right.
I love that song.
But so Boz was touring on this album called Dig, I think, which was a big R&B, return to R&B for him. But he was looking for an opening act who, just like a solo acoustic duo or something, or a solo act. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't what I was doing. I was doing this. I had a 7-piece band with backup singers. I was ready to go toe-to-toe with Boz, but I couldn't. I had to turn down the gig, and I was like, just because I didn't really have an act where I sat with a guitarist at that time and could hold somebody's attention for an hour.
What an honor, though, to be considered.
It was, and when I turned it down, I was really like, I hope I'm not. Please call me for something else, and they finally did. Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd came through town together. They'd recorded an album called Have Love, Have Travel, not as the Blues Brothers, as their own, but they were backed by the band that played Jim's band on his television show.
Yeah.
And we got to open for them at the Vic Theater in Chicago, and it was a sold out night, so it was great for us.
Really cool.
Everyone was there to see Elwood Blues, and so we played, and that was the first gig that sort of actually materialized from that.
Really, really, really super cool. I have on the screen right now Pat's contact information. If you're a bar owner, you should really think about booking Pat and his group, because they are definitely next level. And
festivals.
And festivals and bar mitzvahs and I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Going.
To spell my name right on the check is all good.
I don't know if you do bar mitzvahs, but you should consider to hire his band and him for whatever your next event is, because it's really, really good. And I think the story that we're talking about with Robert Plant led you to be a player at the 2003 and 2005 Detroit or Chicago Blues Festival.
Well, that was part of it. I mean, that was a good thing. And 2005, we had the opportunity to open for Robert Cray. So I love Robert Cray. That was a good year for us. And then the Seger gig. Then I went, and then I had a spell where they didn't call me for anything. I'd check in every once in a while, and I had a good relationship with the staff there. But there were just some shows had a slot for an local opener.
Right.
Most shows didn't. Most shows, the band was already carrying an opening act with them, But I heard Bob Seger was coming through town in 2011, and I said, I would love to open for Bob Seger. He was my hero growing up. And they sent some of my stuff to Seger's management, and, they okayed the appearance. So we got to open for Bob. We just played a half an hour set. And I remember I walked up on stage, and the first thing I said to the crowd, I said, my name's Pat Smillie. It was at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, or in Rosemont, Illinois.
There must have been like 20,000 people.
About 18,000 people sold out. And I said, my name's Pat Smillie. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I've been waiting for my whole life for this gig. And everyone was like, yeah! And then we went, and we did our little set, and it went real good. And Bob and his staff were, so... The crew were so nice to us. We had to, when you play these big, I'd never played an arena show, so it was a big learning experience. But one thing you got to do is get there very early.
Yeah.
So they had us arrive at something like 2:00 for a sound check that wasn't even going to happen until 7 or 7:30. So we were hanging around in our little dressing room, which was more or less a closet or kind of off the... what did they call the big ring around the concourse?
Yeah.
So it was kind of just felt like a little extra room off the concourse. And so we were hanging out there for 2 or 3 hours while Bob's crew was starting to set up the stage and build up the stage. And all of a sudden this like really weird, like just the whole vibe of the production kind of took a more serious, like all of a sudden people kind of snapped to it. And I was wondering, what's going on? Well, I found out that Bob's manager, Punch Andrews, had arrived on scene, and so now everyone was, working hard. And what?
He's a big gun.
Yep. And one of the first things they did was, all of a sudden the promoter comes over to me, and he says, Pat, come here, take a walk with me. And I'm like, I'm thinking, oh my God, we're getting fired. They're going to tell us we can't even do the gig. We haven't even got the sound check. I'm like, this is terrible. He walked me up the stairs. He goes, we just thought maybe you guys would be more comfortable in this space. And he opened us up to one of the team locker rooms, and with all the showers and these giant, like a giant lounge area with leather sofas and stuff. And so that got to be our dressing room for the rest of the night.
That's awesome. Punch Andrews did that?
Yeah, Punch and his crew. They told the promoter to go and get us out of that closet and, give us, when they found out I was from Detroit.
That's pure class.
It was absolutely. It was a great experience to have.
My daughter is friends with Bob's son, Cole, and she always tells me, Bob gave me an aspirin. Because he's really a gentleman. He's a really nice guy. They were hanging out at his place, and my daughter couldn't go in the pool where everybody was in because she had surgery, and he came up on his Harley, and I said, "Oh, why aren't you in the pool?" And he was just really caring to her, and it's a nice story.
Oh yeah,
very 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 cool. So Jim McCarty. Let's go back to Jim McCarty. All right. There's this Cadillac song. You gotta hear. Let's put it on right now.
Broke down Chevy.
Yeah.
Broke down Chevy.
Yeah, broke down Chevy.
I was a broke down Chevy till she loved me like a Cadillac. I was in a bad way.
Yeah,
I was in a bad way, Jimmy.
Yeah. Sorry, I got that wrong. Listen to the tone.
I used to live my life in the fast lane, spending money just like it was rain.
Josh and I wrote this as like something the girls could appreciate on the stripper pole. I said, this has a ZZ Top, like strippers dance to ZZ Top songs because they do in the movies.
That's a good visual.
Yeah.
Cause I didn't have no one to scratch my back. I was just a broke down Chevy till she loved me like a Cadillac.
And those girls, those background vocals, it's like the secret weapon. I mean,
they're so good.
Because it's a secret ingredient. You don't really think about it until but then you realize it's critical to the story.
Yeah.
And they're so good at their job.
Yeah. This is on the album before Lonesome for a long time. After.
Yeah, this is from the album called Last Chance.
Okay.
Which came out in 2021.
That's great.
Used to say I was a piece of work. Don't talk to me about lonesome, 'cause I didn't have no one to scratch my back. I was just a broke down Chevy till she loved me like a Cadillac.
Just really great playing. Nice singing, too.
Because Jim's first solo. I like the second solo better.
Yeah. So while it's playing here, let's show some pictures here. What are we looking at?
That's the cover art from my 2025 single. I released that one on Valentine's Day called Lovers and the Leavers. This is me and my old friend and current blues legend, Toronzo Cannon from Chicago. And we were performing together, reunited for old times for a benefit for a club owner, a guy named Ken Zimmerman, who used to own the Harlem Avenue Lounge, who actually gave both Toronzo and I some of our earliest gigs in the Chicago area. Gave us our start.
Nice.
And so when he passed away, they had a fundraiser for his family, and myself and Toronzo and a bunch of other musicians who worked at the club came out to support, pay tribute.
Wow, so we got...
That's the outdoor at the Checkerboard Lounge, 423 East 43rd Street.
This is where you had your residency.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's just amazing.
This is amazing. I mean, okay, this is one of my favorite songs, Socks from Santa. This is a Christmas single that we released last year. And the cover photo and artwork is by my girlfriend, Laura Abramson.
Nice, I love it. This is awesome.
Yeah, I did that one.
It's the real mofo. That's a nice shot.
Thank you. This is part of That's a part of a larger photo taken by a guy named Ira Paul.
I know Ira Paul. Yeah, everybody knows Ira.
So
Ira's
we're sitting
awesome.
in with the Reefer Men. Actually, Jimmy McCarty is on this sitting in. He and I did a set together. That's Skeeto Valdez on the drums back there, and Mike Bertrand on bass. But if you can see the whole picture, you see Jimmy next to me.
Another blessing, man. Appropriate we put that picture up. That's you. That's a great shot.
Thank you. That was performing with Jim McCarty at the Gem Theater in St. Louis, Michigan.
And there's Jimmy McCarty again.
Yes, this is us. I had a residency at a place called Capone's in St. Clair Shores.
Yeah.
And I would host the jam the first hour, and I do the opening set.
You still doing that?
No, this is Capone's closed down. But anyways, Josh and the boys couldn't make it one night, so I asked Jim and Mystery Chain to come back me up on that evening. And it was a nice opportunity for us to get together and play together again.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then you've got, let's see what else we got here. You got, one of my favorite drummers. I got to get him on here.
Johnny B.
Yeah. He's you're in good company, my friend, man. Really, really, really good company.
Well, thank you. I love Johnny. I love the Rockets. I don't know John as well as I know Jim. I'll say that. But when Jimmy's around and Johnny comes out sometimes and they play, and Jim kind of twists Johnny's arm to come up, get up there and play with the two of us. So it's always nice. The few times I probably got to sit in now would be maybe 6 or 7 times total.
Outstanding. And you got a nice picture here with Rodriguez. Tell us about this.
Okay, this is beautiful. I was playing at Northern Lights Lounge with Dennis Coffey, who you may know as a part of
Motown, right?
Dennis's. Rodriguez's history was his seminal album, the one they called Cold Fact, was actually co-produced by Dennis Coffey and his partner Mike Theodore.
Nice.
So I'd been playing with Dennis for about 5 years, and one night Rodriguez came down to Northern Lights Lounge with his daughter. This was like just a couple weeks before COVID shut everything down. So I got to meet him and his daughter, and I kind of stayed in touch with his daughter, Sandra, and she invited me to the family house to come to his birthday party that they were having.
Oh, is that where you're at in this photo?
Yeah, I'm at his house, and I think that was for his
how long?
80th birthday party.
Oh, so this was right before he passed away. Right before he passed away?
About a year and a half or 2 years.
Wow.
He had another birthday, and then, he had one more birthday after that. So that was me at the house, and, they had a big tribute for him at the Caju, and my feelings were hurt a little bit that nobody asked me to participate.
Aww.
And I'm like,
it was probably an oversight.
Well, whatever it was, but I said, it's okay. I got my own memory. I don't need to be part of this.
Right,
I was there last year.
No, that's cool.
When we tried to, the year before, Sandra tried to contact the press, call everybody, get them to come out to that party.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Well, we'll just say it was turned into a little bit more of a, a bigger thing the following year. But
we got this. This is your
2019 album. That's the first one I did with Josh Ford, Lonesome for a Long Time.
Lovers and
That's a
Leaders.
single from February 14th, 2025. Okay, this is a great photo. The lady in the purple, of course, is Coco Taylor, the queen of the blues. I want to say I'm probably 26 years old there.
Great, man.
I was doing this was right around the time of my residency at the Checkerboard, or maybe a year beforehand. But I had I'd performed at Buddy Guy's Legends as a part of a benefit for the homeless, for Catholic Charities. And as a thank you, they invited all the entertainers who performed on the show to this party that was held by one of the organizers, Mildred Lincoln, have a party over at Mildred's house. So when I got there, I arrived there with a date, and I saw Coco was there, and I knew her. I met her once before. I had my photo taken with her, and I was also there. Bo Diddley showed up. I didn't get a picture of Bo Diddley, but I stood behind him in the buffet line. That's about my brush with fate. I couldn't work up the nerve to say hello to him, but he was right there. I could have reached out and touched him. I was too nervous, but I totally ignored
I wouldn't
my
have been
date.
able to help myself. I just got to shake your hand, sir.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was all over. And the other lady in the photo with Coco Taylor and I is a woman, a vocalist in the white. She was a dynamite entertainer. Her name was Melvina Allen.
Okay.
And she performed at the Checkerboard. And she could come in off the street, sit in with the band, sing like 3 songs, make $200, $300 worth of tips in the crowd just by singing those songs in front of people, and walk out and go to the next place. It was unreal.
It is
such
unreal.
an unbelievable entertainer. But she had a lot of demons, and she was a rough customer, but she was a dynamite. She was a house rocker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When someone gets on the stage and can take control of the show like that, there were very few people who could do it at her level, you know.
Tell us about this song you got playing, Lovers and Leavers.
This is my single from Valentine's Day, this past Valentine's Day. And it's a song title I had. The way I write is I keep a list on my phone. I have a list of song titles. I read that John Fogerty did this too. He kept a notebook.
That's what I do.
Something struck him, he'd write down the song title. So I had this title, Lovers and the Leavers, on my list for, I feel like, a year and a half or 2. And I'm not sure what happened. Something happened in my life that just finally sparked the connection was made. And I wrote the song, and it came together fast. And Josh and I were like pretty excited about it. He said, I think we need to change the key a little bit for you before we record it. Let's just record it in the key of G.
Yeah.
So we moved it up a little bit, and it turned out to be, like I said, just like his experience being a producer, knowing that might somehow make a difference.
Yeah.
It did make a lot of difference. So we put the track out. It's doing pretty good for us. You know, it came out in February.
Yeah.
It's one of the most recent singles that I put out.
I like it. Let's listen to it real fast.
It's definitely got a Bob Seger vibe.
Yeah, I noticed that about a lot of your stuff.
Yeah. This piano solo is Dale Grisa, and we're at the end of it.
Yeah, I heard it. It's very beautiful.
That one has a passing resemblance to Against the Wind, just the way he voices the chords or something.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of like, and the tempo of the song.
Yeah, really, really, really super cool, man. Listen to this.
That's Josh Ford on slide right there.
Oh, love it, man.
This is one.
He's a talented guy. That's no doubt about that, man. I mean,
and a great slide player. He has his own voice as a slide player. It's really
those girls, man.
Yep.
Voices of the Angels.
The secret sauce.
It really is the secret sauce. They sound like angels.
Yeah.
Your voice just sounds good, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the tempo. It's the tempo. It's like, it's that Bob Seger feel. You know, I don't know. Something about the drum beat is right in there, you know.
Tell us about this picture.
This is a great picture. This is from, so I used to host the Blue Monday Jam every Monday night at the Cajun Cafe. And with Bobby East. Bobby is from the legendary guitar player from the Reefer Men, the guy in the red shirt behind me.
Yeah, the Reefer Men, yeah.
Up front was our bass player, Roger Noonan.
Oh, Roger, man. He was in the Teen Angels. That guy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Got to have him on, too.
Yeah. And then...
so much talent in this town. I mean, seriously, so much talent.
In this photo. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
This was a great night.
This is like next level photo.
Is the drummer for the Reefer Men, so he was our house drummer. So the regular band was me, Bobby, Roger, Skeeto, and a keyboard player. And then on this particular evening, Josh and Johnny and Todd Glass from the Sound Shop band, the Big Three, all came out. And then in the far end, that's our friend Errol. And Errol has recently passed away, sadly.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
But that was one of my favorite photos taken from that era.
Very cool. Tell us about this song, man.
This is my brand new single. It's called Indistractable. And this is kind of a throwback to a 60s R&B sound. And I wrote it about, I like it because it's kind of like It's a song with old sounding music, but the lyrics are kind of totally about today, in the sense that it's about trying to be more, present for the people in your lives and your loved ones. That's why I'm saying I'm indistractable when I'm loving you, but like the rest of the day, it's like people get lost or distracted on their phones. I remember I was at a restaurant not too long ago. I saw this couple eating dinner together, and the guy was with this beautiful woman, and he wasn't even looking at her. He spent the whole time on his phone, and I just felt like, man, if I was over there with her, I would not be looking at my phone.
Right.
I would be trying to talk some stuff or something. I don't know. But anyway, so it was just a fun little number. It sounds like a roller skating song. That's when Josh and I were saying they need to post this one at the roller rink. And so it just has a nice kind of Southern soul vibe.
This is your tour photo from 2023. Tell us about that.
This was taken somewhere in Florida. Josh had lined up a tour for us to some of the clubs that he'd played. And he'd let them know, I'm working with this new singer-songwriter, and would you take a chance on him and have him come play a gig at your spot? So Josh lined up like about 10 shows for us, all up and down the East Coast. We played Georgia, Florida, North Carolina. We played New York. We did Washington, D.C. And they were all venues that he'd previously had relationships with. So we went out there, and it was my first time kind of going around like that. I'd been to Europe for about 3 weeks, and
on tour.
Yeah, on a tour that they set up. But that was back in 2011. Yeah.
We can keep talking and talking, So you got so much stuff that you've done. It's really outstanding. We've got like a minute left.
Okay.
On the podcast, and I have to do this. I'm going back to this because this song is killer. Just to wrap up,
I love it.
So
we wrote this just for Jim. I swear, we wanted a heavy rocking guitar song. I wanted to have short verses, little 2-3 word lines, a lot of heavy chords, thick, heavy power chords,
and a heavy drum beat. I don't know why it's not on Detroit radio, but we want to thank Pat Smillie for being on the show today. And before we leave, we want to find out what are the next gigs coming up so you can catch them. Pat, tell us.
That's right. Jimmy, I play the first Saturday of every month. I have a residency here right in Detroit in the Corktown neighborhood at the world-famous Nancy Whiskey Pub.
John Kane, who was just on the show. I went there and saw him play there. I love that place.
Yeah, it's a tiny little joint, but it's always got filled with a great mix of Detroiters.
Yeah.
And we've been doing the first Saturday of every month. We'll be back there again on Saturday, August 2nd.
Nice.
And
and Labor Day.
And Labor Day at the Cactus Cafe.
So you better be there.
Yep.
You better get your ticket now. Be there or be lame. Thank you so much, Pat.
Thanks,
it's a great honor, man. Great honor to have you on our show. And we'll see you next time on the next edition of Jimmy G's Anomaly, the podcast.
You have been watching Jimmy G's Anomaly, the podcast. We would like to thank Pat Smillie for appearing on today's podcast and sharing his musical work with us. Music for this podcast is provided by Jimmy G's Anomaly Music Project. If you are an artist and would like to appear on this podcast, shoot us an email at the address shown on the screen. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you on our next episode where we continue to shine light on the Detroit sound. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a great day.